Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see them as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula Board Formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Bella Vrita, I do think that worked. It is Fun Friday, and we are dealing with an extraordinary heart of influence. Are we not today, Bella Vrita?
We are definitely dealing with an extraordinary heart of influence, Sean Callagy, because it is the regional triangle of trust, heart of influence with Darren and Ammo today.
Darren and Ammo in the building. Yes, Bella Vrita went live. I'm making sure all lotion is properly rubbed in. And here we go. So thank you, everybody, as we explore the superpower of Integris influence. Extraordinary leaders here. We call it GHICS, growth-driven, heart-centered, Integris people committed to mastery as we explore the superpower of Integris influence with Darren Prince, James Amorosi, Bella Vrita. Who's here?
Sean, we have some extraordinary people here today. And first, coming from West Orange, New Jersey, peaceful problem solver, veteran mediator with 20 plus years in insurance, resolving disputes with grace and cost efficiency. Relationship protector, specializes in de-escalating family and business conflicts through empathy and fairness. Mentor and equity advocate, passionate about community harmony, youth mentorship, and elevating unprecedented voices. Let's welcome to the show, Mamie Talbert.
Thank you so much.
Mamie, is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Mamie, warm welcome. Plato, Mamie, the Greek philosopher, said, play a game with me for an hour and we'll learn more about each other than if we speak for a year. So Mamie, we kick this game off with a fun fact. It could be something that's exciting, adventurous, shocking, something you're super proud of. It's a headline, maybe. It's not a story. Bella has the Chuck Barris Gong Show Gong, if we go over the headline. But Mamie, please, what is your headline fun fact that would make us say, Mamie, no way? So Mamie, what's your headline fun fact?
My headline fun fact is that my husband and some of his family were on the Family Feud twice.
Survey says, boom. Did they make it to the Fast Money round?
No, they did not.
Oh, Bella Vrita, my heart aches. But Mamie, thank you for sharing your fun fact. And a headline, Bella Vrita, Mamie leadership with her is present. Who else is here?
Rolling with Mamie from Raleigh, North Carolina, trailblazing construction executive, a standout leader in a male-dominated industry, driving million projects with purpose and power. Innovation focused builder elevates teams and outcomes with humility, strategic insight, and collaborative leadership style. Champion for equity, devoted to mentorship and community transformation, breaking barriers and lifting others. Let's welcome to the show, Twyla Garrett.
Thank you, Bella. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Nice
Twyla,
to meet you, Sean.
Nice to meet you. We're thankful to have you. And Twyla, please, what is your headline fun fact on Darren and Emo's Heart of Influence?
My headline fun fact is that they said a woman couldn't build. So I actually went to Ghana, and I'm in the process of building the first 5-star hotel in Cape Coast, Ghana.
Wow. 5-star hotel, women built. Women can build, Bella Rita.
Not only woman built, but actually I own it. So
women built
women
and
built
owned.
and owned.
Yes, and I think that women build and own way better than men, Bella. But back to you.
That is true. And where did you say it was, Twyla?
Cape
Ghana.
Coast, Ghana, about
Cape
2
Ghana.
hours from Accra.
That is awesome. Well, welcome, Twyla. Can't wait to visit your hotel, and welcome to the Heart of Influence.
Thank you.
And next up from New York, strategic legal architect, chair corporate and M&A and security, steering sophisticated transactions with precision, elite training and practical wisdom, University of Pennsylvania law graduate, developing business-focused, solution-oriented counsel, integrity-based advisor, guiding clients with clarity and care, always aligning legal skill with purposeful impact. Let's welcome to the show, George Salva.
George, warm welcome to the Darren and Emo HOI Heart of Influence. And please, George, your headline fun fact.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can't think of anything recent. Something a long time ago that I did was, I think when I was like 6 or 7 years old, I could recite all the presidents and vice presidents when they were born, when they were died. And I was on a TV show doing that when I was that young. Didn't
Amazing. Can you still do it today?
I could do a lot of it.
Thomas Jefferson.
He lived 1743 to 1826.
Let's go. Bella Rita, George knows a thing or two, and you were a Penn Quaker, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
The bane of my existence, more than not. To come with the Penn Quakers, Bella Rita, Doug Glanville, and all. Let's go.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
Final
Also,
Four, 1979.
I'm sorry?
Just a sports point, basketball.
Oh, yes. So I'm a
Good.
Columbia Lion, and I played baseball, and yes, we had
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, when were you there at Columbia?
I was there from 88, fall of 88 to graduating 92, captain of the baseball team, Doug Glanville, and Penn won 3 of the 4 Ivy League titles during our 4 years. So, yes.
We overlapped. I was Columbia 94.
Whoa, that's super cool.
I didn't play baseball, but I knew a couple of the baseball players, Matt Spielman.
Yeah, Matt Spielman. Matt
Eric
Spielman was
England.
a sophomore when I was senior captain.
Yeah.
all right, Sean Callaghan, we could sit here and talk baseball all day with
Let's
you,
go.
but we got some other people to introduce here.
Let's go, 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 go.
Let's go. Also from New York, creative legal defender, chair litigation and entertainment and IP, protecting brands and navigating high stakes disputes. Voice for visionaries, trusted advocate for artists, entrepreneurs, and executives seeking clarity and control. Justice-minded strategist merges fierce advocacy with heart-centered service to support causes that matter. Let's welcome to the show, Albert Soler.
Albert, warm welcome to the Heart of Influence, Darren Amo flavored, and please your fun fact.
Thank you. Great applause, by the way. Graduated law school, UPenn. I took some friends to the Amazon in Peru, where I'm from, and because I have light eyes, we were in the Amazon, and the pipe came out, wouldn't let me in because it was a bad sign, and they said that they felt bizarre because of the light eyes. So the chief came out. He took a red fruit from a tree, put it in his fingers, and then painted my whole face red with war paint. So the entire trip, I was the only one of my friends in every picture with this bizarre, like, intricate war paint. That's my fun fact.
That is unbelievable. I am still traumatized by UPenn, but Bella Vrita, I want to paint your face with red war paint. Let's go do it. You're up, Bella.
Painting my face with war paint. I'm not so sure I align with this. That doesn't sound like fun, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But first, coming up from Erie, Pennsylvania, National Voice in Public Strategy and Opportunity Zone named top 25 attorney influencer for his pioneering work in federal opportunity zone development. Trusted counsel to government and business leaders, leads public strategies and advising complex legal, regulatory, and economic development issues, grounded in public service and former aide to 2 Pennsylvania governors and current commissioner for the America 250 PA. Let's welcome to the show, Tim Wachter.
Tim, warm welcome to the Heart of Influence on this fun Friday. And Tim, what is your headline fun fact, please?
Headline fun fact is, in association with the Opportunity Zones, we developed a model in Erie, Pennsylvania to invite investment in a distressed census tract, the poorest zip code in the United States of America, which was highlighted in the White House Council of Economic Advisors as the model to follow for all municipalities in the United States. And it ended up resulting in $400 million worth of Opportunity Zone investment coming into our district.
Wow. Let's go get it. Thank you for bringing opportunity and possibility to people. Bella, we have some G-Hicks here today. Let's go, Bella.
We have some G-Hicks here, and I have no idea what Tim even just said, but it sounds very cool.
They took a very impoverished area and brought opportunity and had positive outcomes, and it means that he's a growth-driven, heart-centered, integrous man with others like him committed to mastery. Bella Vrita, over to you.
That is beautiful. Thank you for that. And next up, rolling with this crew from Cherry Hill, New Jersey, mission-driven CEO, creating visionary jobs for the blind and expanding knowledge-based pathways. Marine Corps veteran, thank you for your service, bringing 20-plus years of decorated service to his executive leadership with courage and commitment. Nationally recognized advocate named Veteran of Influence and mentor to emerging leaders with legacy and purpose. Let's welcome to the show, John Katz.
John, thank you for your service. And please, John, your headline fun fact.
Yeah, so my wife and I just returned from Italy, where we cycled the back roads across Tuscany from Florence to Siena, and it was just an amazing once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Well, congratulations. Sounds like a truly magical moment. John, warm welcome to the Darren Ammo Heart of Influence. Bella, please.
Let's go to, you know what, Sean? We're going to introduce a couple of really cool dudes from New York, a seasoned entrepreneur with 35 years, including founding a private equity firm, driving growth for founders, valuing personal connections, and recognizing the unique contributions of each individual. Known for his relentless drive, transformed industries, and empowered countless businesses to achieve extraordinary success. Let's welcome to his show, James Ammo Amorosi.
Thank you, Bella.
Ammo, wonderful to have you back. I know a lot's been present for you. We are grateful for your being here today, Ammo. And please, brother, how are you and your headline fun fact?
Doing great. And when I was working at the Pure Investment Corp, which is Paul Tudor Jones, one of the living legends in the hedge fund industry, in 1996, he wanted to raise a astronomical amount of money for another philanthropic fund that he created called the Robin Hood Fund, which is it basically educates inner city kids, and it was an awesome thing, and he really fired us up, and he put me as a head of a committee because he wanted to do a incredible raise, something that we haven't raised before. In 1996, we raised $40 million in one night.
Wow.
Crazy.
Dude, that is
$40 million bucks.
$40 million in one night.
One night.
Congratulations, Emma. I'm sure the ripple
Thank you.
effects still continue to this day. And shall we do the things, Mr. James Amo Amorosi?
Please, my friend and my brother, let's do the thing.
Let's go. Bella Vrita, Amo's in the building. 40 million bucks in one night. Come on.
Ammo is in the building. And next up from Los Angeles, California, internationally best-selling author and agent representing icons like Magic Johnson, Hulk Hogan, David Goggins, and the late Muhammad Ali, and Joe Frazier, just to name a few, negotiated over 750 million marketing deals over 30 years, 16 years sober, a global advocate for addiction recovery, dedicated to giving back, believing in the power of second chances, and improving lives through partnership with treatment centers and mental health initiatives. Let's welcome the newly engaged Darren Prince.
Mr. Darren Prince, an honor, sir, a privilege to be here with you and Amo and Darren. What's on your heart today on this Fun Friday? And please, your fun fact.
I mean, I think being that we're on the topic of engagement and Amo's on this Zoom, this amazing group that you put together. It was about 2.5 years ago, Nutza, my fiance, I signed her as a client after she was a finalist on American Idol. And I started posting about her. She's an insane talent from the country of Georgia that's been very famous in Europe for years. And I sent the link to Amo because I wanted him to see how impressive she was. And he said, not only did you find the next superstar in America, but you just found your wife. And I was like, you're crazy. And here we are 2.5 years later.
That's awesome.
Darren, I thought Bill was kidding. So congratulations. You knew.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Congratulations, brother. That warms my heart. Much to celebrate. Much to celebrate. Congratulations.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Darren Prince. So Darren, if it's cool with you, I'm going to introduce the woman who's been doing the introducing. Yeah.
Of course.
Thank you. So this woman started her career in influence as an 8-year-old selling crafts on her parents' front lawn. By the age of 19, she put 3 words together that don't go together: teenager, network marketing, and $1 million business. Yes, that's what this woman did. Teenager, network marketing, $1 million business. 24, 25, 26 years old. She's three-peating, but not in hoops like Michael Jordan, but instead is Nevada's #1 business broker. Male-dominated industry, first woman ever to be Nevada's #1 business broker. And take this dude's youngest person, male or female, to ever be Nevada's #1 business broker, let alone 3 straight years. Come on now. She starts to train Fortune 500 companies and entrepreneurs. In fact, in 2019, every sales team this woman worked with doubled their sales. Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer. I'm pretty sure today it's taught by a blind man, but sometimes it's from YouTube. She's also a philanthropist that has raised $10 million+ with the Unblinded team. And in 2023, in the last 2 years, in 2023, this woman, who's a 2-time, about to be 3-time published author, who publicly battled and defeated cancer. In her more than 1,700th episode of The Heart of Influence, let's welcome to the Darren Prince and James Amo Amorosi Heart of Influence, the woman that put the heart in it, the one, the only, Bella Vrita! Miss Bella Vrita, please, on this Fun Friday, your fun fact.
I'm going to go with the heartwarming fun fact today, Sean Callagy. I was ordained as a pastor this year, and I always find it fascinating how God just uses me. And I asked a neighbor to trim my bangs real quick today because we leave for Grand Cayman on Sunday. And while I was there, a woman was there. She was just diagnosed with breast cancer. I went through a breast cancer journey a couple years ago. I told her all these things that I was doing holistically. She starts crying because she had no hope. And after our conversation, she felt like she had hope. And I just felt like God put me there in that moment. And I was immensely, immensely grateful. And I love when God uses me that way. And that's my fun fact for today.
Oh, blessings. Amen, Bella Vrita. Thank you for sharing that. And Bella, shall we do the things?
we shall do the things. And I want to thank our executive producer, Andrea Catania, the deal attorney, having led over 200 capital market transactions in the past 25 years, bringing us all here together today. Thank you, Andrea Catania.
Yes.
My pleasure.
Yes. Thank you, Andrea. And Andrea, you want to drop a fun fact on us real quick?
Well, this past weekend, I may have saved a baby goat from dying from a fence behind my daughter's and son-in-law's home. And nothing, I'm telling you, very few things feel better than coming to someone's rescue. So that's my fun fact for today.
I mean, Andrea, we're like way over time right now, but you have like baby goats in the wild near your house?
My daughter and son-in-law in Doylestown, they have this beautiful property behind them that no one can build on, and there are goats that come right up to the fence.
Well,
And then we heard what sounded like a baby crying, and it was a little sweet baby
So
goat.
here's to roaming baby goats. Thank you, Andrea Catania. Bella Frida, let's go take care of some goats.
Let's go take care of some goats. Before we go take care of some goats, I'm gonna introduce the goat, the man who Tony Robbins said there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Bet Key at body surfing competitions. He's only one of two attorneys, so in two top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. In fact, the state of New Jersey actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not busy flying around, speaking on stages of Fortune 10 companies, the Fortune 500 companies, he is an incredible philanthropist that raised nearly $10 million for refugees in Ukraine. Let's welcome the one, the only, Sean Callagy.
Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Emma, Andrea Catania. A warm welcome to everybody here in this Fun Friday. And I often go with this fun fact. I am blind. I can't see anything in front of me whatsoever. I got a little bit of peripheral vision. And I often share, I've taught sighted people to ski, surf, and scuba dive in extreme conditions, including Bella. I mean, like skiing, surfing, scuba diving in crazy conditions. But I'm going to add for today that this month we're on track to collect $50 million for healthcare provider clients, up from $42 million last month, and we are growing exponentially at this point. I had the blessing and privilege of being invited to a closed-door meeting with the Department of Health and Human Services yesterday, as a national leader in the space, and with heads of Health and Human Services, Medicare, Department of Labor. We talked about how the federal independent dispute resolution system could be optimized, tightened, and this is one place in one way that our government is really effectively working, truly is, in a bipartisan way. So it was in the Department of Health and Human Services building, like super confidential, all the things I can't discuss all what went on, but it was really a remarkable insider view, my third trip to Washington in the past 60 days. So that is my fun fact for today. Bella Frida.
That is a super fun fact, and I know you make a difference wherever you go.
Yeah, I gotta just drop this. My grandmother Nani, I can say this because I said it. I will testify whatever else. My grandmother Nani's my mother's mother, who I lived with when my parents got divorced when I was young with my mom, passed away 7 years ago yesterday, June 12th, 2018. We could not possibly have been closer. And her home in Long Beach Island is the genesis of the 6 homes we have in our family in that area now. And I had the blessing and privilege of speaking in Washington before a room of about 30 extremely influential national governmental and private sector players, and was able to share a quote from Nani that I did about the insurance industry. And that, of course, Nani liked to say, well, at least Jesse James had a gun. Nani quote. So Bella Frida, that is my quote for today. Let's go.
That is a super fun quote. Let's kick this off. And what are we doing here today, Sean?
We're exploring, how do you end up in these situations? How do you end up as Darren Prince working with Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Hulk Hogan? How do you raise 40 million bucks in one night like James Amorosi? How do you function as a deal attorney, Andrea Catania, and take 200 companies public in 7 different ways that you do? Or like Bella Frida, becoming Nevada's #1 business broker 3 straight years as a woman at 24, 25, and 26 years old? Or the yeses all of you created, because of course the greatest superpower for humans to attain, and it ain't close. We know that to be true. We don't think that's true. We have the science to back it up. is the ability to cause yes with other people. And I don't mean sell, I'm talking leadership, management, recruitment, fundraising, for profit, not for profit, marketing, and selling. Compound influence with integrity, of course, scaling. Because who wants pitching, hooking, closing? Yuck. Not me. I don't think you. But what we do want to do is know how to masterfully cause yes with humans so our influence compounds massively over time so we can do more good in the world. So to illustrate this dynamic, Bella Vrede is going to be anybody you want her to be. Heck, she could be a famous person like Oprah Winfrey or Warren Buffett, or simply an ideal client or a charitable fundraising partner, or anyone you'd want to be creating a yes with. Final footnotes, it doesn't have to be an ultimate yes or a sale. It could just be any type of yes, including simply having a longer conversation. Bella, who's going first?
Let's kick this off with Mimi.
It's Mimi, is that right?
Mamie.
Mamie, that's what I thought. Okay, so I was like, Mimi, that doesn't sound right. Mamie, because I can't read the thing. So Mamie, thank you. And Mamie, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
I like for her to be a potential client.
Okay, and so what would a potential client be for you?
She has a situation, a conflict situation, and it needs to be mediated or settled.
Okay, is it like a business situation or personal?
It's a personal situation.
Okay.
And
I got none of those. I can't relate to it at all. I have no personal disputes or issues at all in my life. I don't know if I can relate to this.
So Mamie, is this about like Bella's in the situation and you're the mediator, or this is about retaining your services to mediate?
This is about her being in that situation, and she needs to retain my services as a mediator to help
Oh boy,
her.
Bella, don't talk about me. Over to you.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hello, Bella. This is Mamie Talbert with MST Mediation Solutions. I understand that you have a situation and you've been talking with an attorney.
Yes.
However, I want to talk to you because I do partner with attorneys, and there are many times that they refer cases to me to be mediated or to be settled. And I'd like to know if you're open to discussing that.
I am definitely open. I would love to do that. The challenge is I'm not so sure my sister would. She has some mental challenges. There's been, some conflict both in the family and, in our business together. And I definitely would love to do that. But I think the challenge is going to be getting my sister to say yes to that.
Okay, so what we'll do is, why don't we look to reach out to your sister or to whoever's representing her to see if we can schedule a meeting.
So the challenge is she's not interested. She hasn't shown any interest in settling this amicably. She sends me horrible text messages and is, just threatening. And so how do you, take a party who just wants to fight, really, and wants to have it their way and convince them to, do things amicably?
So it's my understanding that she is represented by an attorney. Is that correct?
Correct. I think so. I'm not actually sure, to be honest.
Okay, so why don't we reach out to her attorney to see if we can at least schedule a meeting?
We can try.
Thank you.
Definitely. You're welcome. Great job, Mamie. That is not too far off from a real story. So thank you so much. And let's go.
Good job, Mamie. Good job, Bella. Please.
Yes. I didn't talk about you, Sean, because you're perfect.
That is so far from true. Yes. Thank you for tolerating me, Bella. So who's up?
But I want to know if I've gotten any points for not sharing yet with Darren and Ammo anything about Hoffman. But let's go to Twyla.
Stop. Who's up?
We got Twyla.
Twyla, please don't listen to anything this woman says.
Okay. I want to know more. Please tell me more, Bella.
No,
Twyla. Do you want to know what I might share?
No, we're way off track. We're over time. Please. Twyla.
Well, Bella,
Bella, is this the name you were withholding last week?
This is the name I was withholding, Darren. Do you want to know what it means?
Do
Do you want to know what it means?
Please do. Share.
Hot as F man. That's Sean Callaghy.
I like it.
So it's a hot
love
man
it.
for short. Hot as F, which I will not say.
I am
That's
getting
right.
off the show. I'm leaving.
That's the new name for you.
That's a new name. So
Unbelievable.
Darren Ammo, feel free to call Sean Hoffman anytime you see him.
Ammo, please.
Hoffman.
Ammo, out of respect to you, she withheld telling the group last week because you weren't on.
Yes, that's true,
Oh,
Ammo.
my
I had to
God.
wait for you to be here.
Ammo, do you have any triple black belt women that could take care of Bella, please? Thank you very much.
You're
Oh,
on
my
mute,
God.
Ammo.
So,
Ammo, you're on mute. Yes.
I gotcha. Sorry about that. I don't think a 10th degree could stop Bella from having her wrath upon you, Sean Callaghy. Okay.
Ammo, you are a brilliant man with deep listening. And I promise, even with your mastery, you don't know a tenth of it.
I
So
could only
Twyla, who would
imagine.
you like Bella Rita to be?
Bella, I would like for you to be a small business that's been around for about 10 years, struggling to move over $100,000. The highest you've ever made was about 60,000, and you've already invested about 90,000 in coaching and gotten nowhere.
All right.
Whoa,
Got it.
Bella, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, this is Twyla Garrett. I'm the founder of the Impact League. I'd like to take a couple of minutes, if you allow me, to tell you about the league. Are you free at this moment?
I am. I have a couple, 2-3 minutes right now.
All right, well, great. Well, let me tell you a little bit about me first. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've sold a couple of businesses. I've scaled businesses from $500 to about $25 million, sold 3 businesses, and I'm currently in real estate. I'm currently the Verizon small business spokesperson for digital readiness. And so as I speak, I see a lot of entrepreneurs that come to me. And I know right now I got your name from one of the programs that you attended, saying that you were one of the small businesses and you've gone through a lot of other programs, you spent a lot of money, but you haven't had any traction. Is that true?
That is true. Yep. Spends a lot
Well,
of money. Can't break.
Yeah,
break
it's
anyone.
frustrating. I normally get between 20 to 30 people lined up after my keynotes to say, how can you help me? How can you mentor me? So what I did is I actually sat down and designed a virtual mastermind. It's called the Impact League. And what the Impact League does is I brought together 6 of my friends who are all multi-million-dollar business owners. That's all about giving back and scaling businesses. It ranged from Bitcoin currency to optimization of systems to IT to actually design. And I'm more of a business strategist. And I'd like to talk to you about how you can come into the league and help move your company and move the needle. We currently opened the league last year with on June 2nd with 0 individuals. And within 2 days, we had 94 businesses that actually signed up and actually thriving inside. So much so that we're passing about $45 million worth of revenue between 22 businesses that are actually competing with each other or working with each other. Does that sound like something you would be interested in?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds interesting. The problem is, like, I've already invested in a lot of coaching and a lot of mentoring, and none of it really works. Everybody always says they can produce all of these incredible results, and years later, I'm still in the same place.
And we hear that all the time. And that's why I developed the league, because we're not SCORE, we're not some of the other organizations that are template based, nor are we SBA. All of us are in our businesses now. We're both scaling our businesses and we're in working. So our goal is to give you action, not templates. And so it is a difference. And in order I would love to give you 6 months free so you can see how that individual coaching will actually help you move the needle. After that, we hope you join the community. We're not there we're there to scale you and work with you. We're not there to just have you there to just do templates. So does that sound good if we offered you 6 months? Would you be interested in that?
Maybe, possibly. Maybe we can have a little bit longer of a conversation and
I would love it.
See where it could go from there.
Okay, one of the things I would love to do is give you 3 of our references to talk to that's currently in, have that conversation, and then follow back up with us.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Thank you so much, Bella. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Beautiful work, Twyla. Very impressive. Bella, I think it's time for the feedbackers.
I think it's time for the feedbackers as well, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for Mamie or Twyla. I'll let you know which, and you're going to give 30 seconds, something they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then like a scoring system as to what is your next step. Is that next step, you'd rather go and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Twyla or Mamie. I don't think that's the case. Maybe the next step is like just a little cup of coffee. Maybe it's dinner. But if none of those are enough time, you would be willing to rent a private jet, pick up Mamie or Twyla to fly anywhere in the world to have the longest conversation possible. So let's kick it off with John. And John, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Mamie?
Yeah, so I thought she did a good job of shaping the conversation and asking good questions that was able to eventually get you to a yes, to agree to at least have a meeting with the attorney.
Awesome.
I had one word that would be, what you felt in the interaction. What would that word be?
Confident.
Cool. All right. Confident. Bella Verita.
Confident. Awesome. Let's go. Tim. Tim, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Twyla, please?
I appreciated how Twyla was able to establish credibility early in the situation by being able to state what her credentials were and why she was someone that you wanted to be speaking to in this interaction with her successes. The only real criticism I could come up with is that I have found that I don't do a lot of selling after establishing credibility. Rather, I start asking questions regarding the individual I'm speaking with, their particular situation, to understand their story. Most conversations I have with people that they feel are the most successful and they feel the best walking away from are the ones where I say the least and listen the most.
Very nice.
Amen to that.
Tim. Yeah, awesome. And Tim, one word for Twyla, if you felt like one word about it.
Unbridled optimism.
Unbridled optimism, Bella Verita.
That's 2 words. Sorry.
Yeah, they're great 2 words. Excellent. Love it. Bella.
Let's go. Albert, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Mamie?
Hi, thank you. As a litigator, I've understood something over the decades. We have to listen to their situation, make a connection with their life. What's their hardship? Like this gentleman said, he's right. We have to learn about them. We have to have the relationship before they understand that you're the right person for that service. What are their struggles? Sell is later. Understanding you, I think, is first.
Awesome. Albert, love it. And if you had one word from Mamie, what would it be?
I think she was clear. She had clarity.
Nice. You got clear, Bella Verita. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's go. George. George, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Twyla, please?
Yeah, I think Twyla did a very nice job. It's a first time seeing this, so it's always very hard to be on the spot. I'd like to echo the comments of Albert and others. I mean, as attorneys, right? Like, we don't usually sell, right? We ask questions, get answers, and sort of how we respond, how the person we're speaking with, how they respond to those questions, right? We can sort of show a little bit of our knowledge and sell without looking like we're selling, right? Be able to a little bit, show a little bit of what we know and how we can help. The other thing is probably instead of a meeting, I might have suggested, hey, let's have a call, let's have a Zoom, something that's, a little bit less formal to start. And then if it's worth everybody else's time, then, we can do something face to face.
Awesome. Thank you for that. George, you had one word. How'd you feel?
Energetic.
Nice. Energetic, Bella Verita. Come on.
Energetic. Next up, let's go. Darren Prince, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Twyla, please?
I thought she did a great job. Super informative. I like the Impact League model. Yeah, I agree with the other gentleman, though. It kind of seemed like you were a little bit overwhelmed at one point. But I think the option of the 6 months for free was sort of like a no-lose situation that you can have an opportunity to understand this platform, their mission, what they're able to do to help your small business that's been struggling.
And Darren, you are so masterful at causing yes with human beings, especially human beings of massive influence. And I ask you some version of this question every time we're together. I want to get a little bit more pointed in a slightly different direction. When you are resolving conflict between folks, which I'm sure you do a lot, and conflict could be, something with a lot of energy or something with just a very different perspective. If you had one or two key things you would share with this group as somebody who's brought the likes of Ali and Frazier together and the massive people of influence you work with, what would that be? Please, Darren.
I'd say calmness for sure, and trying to understand people rather than me being understood is always a way to just calm the brain down and be more rational about a situation, whether it's in business or personal life.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Darren Prince. Bella Verita, please.
Let's go. Last but not least, of course, Ammo, your 30 seconds of feedback for Mamie, please.
So Mamie, I thought you were very the word would be concise. Okay. You referred to cases. When you asked her to refer to cases, you were very confident in the way you said that. You overcame Bella's objection in a multitude of ways. I know she said maybe to you twice, and you've countered her a couple times and asked her, so listen, I'll reach out to your attorney. Will you reach out to your attorney? And you came at her pretty confidently, and I felt that you had a nice little flow, and you were again concise. I thought you were concise, so I think you did a nice job.
Well, thank you, Ammo. And Ammo, as somebody who's been in some really high conflict situations in even the physical realm, what would you say? High conflict, one or two tips that you've done to settle really crazy situations.
I don't want to, I'll echo my partner's sentiment. Another guy who taught me how to trade, his name Vic Sparandio, one of the best traders, and he was like a Renaissance man. He always used to tell me, Ammo, coolness prevails. Coolness prevails. So always keeping a level head, listening, and trying to not impose yourself so much as opposed to feeling what the other person's thinking and what's causing this conflict. And again, somebody asked me this on another show, and I said, a lot of times conflict doesn't really exist. We create it. So I sometimes question myself, is this a conflict that I think in my head, or is it something that this person's frustrated about that they really can't either communicate appropriately or they're frustrated over? So I think there's an analytical part of getting through conflict that is almost artistic.
Love it. Ammo, thank you for that. And from that place, since I've really connected on a heart level, Bella, Ammo and Darren are going to take it easy on me, and so should you. Back to you.
I don't know so much about that, but I definitely, this is the time in the show that we have the honor and the privilege to put Sean on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about, because I've been cooking them up as the show has been going on. I've got 3 scenarios for you to go from hello to yes on. Darren and Ammo, you guys get to choose what scenario Sean goes from hello to yes on. So let me start with what we have for today. So option number 1 is Sean would role play Mamie going from hello to yes with my sister, who who Sean knows, who I happened to get a text from during the show telling me that I was disgusting, horrible, a liar, and among other things. So that's always fun. So Sean, you're going to play Mamie, going from hello to yes with Cynthia, who definitely has some mental challenges, doesn't want to solve anything amicably. And, oh, can you guys hear me? Did I freeze?
No, you're good.
Okay. So you get to go from hello to yes with my sister, to sit down and resolve things, resolve family matters amicably. So that is option number one. Option number two is Sean could role play. We're gonna go with our jungle friend. That's Albert, right? Albert, you had the jungle. Yes,
I had
Albert
I had the
Warpaint, yes. So you
yes,
would play Albert, going from hello to yes with Kim Kardashian to do a war paint clearing event in the Amazon to raise money for charity. As we know, Kim Kardashian is not about Amazon, is not about anything dirty, is not about anything that is not of beauty and luxury. So yes, going from hello to yes with Kim Kardashian for a Amazon war paint charity event to raise money for charity. And then option number three is Sophia Richie is known for her luxury brand, also doesn't love, is not really known for her philanthropy work. So option number three would be to go from hello to yes with Sophie Richie to host an event in Ghana to raise money for girls at Twyla's Hotel. So those are the three options that I have for you today, Darren and Amo. Any of those options tickle your fancy?
You're the newly engaged man. The honor is all yours.
All right, I think we try to get Kim Kardashian to the Amazon.
So
that
Kim
intrigued me as
Kardashian
well.
has to dress in war paint, come into the Amazon, Sean, to raise some money for charity. Are you up for this?
Sure. And who's Kim Kardashian?
Oh, who do you guys want to play Kim Kardashian?
Oh boy. Who do you want to play Kim Kardashian?
I think it should be
How
Darren.
I'd like to
I
see
think
that.
we go with Mammy.
He's still talking. Now I'm thinking you become Kim Kardashian, Darren.
That's an age by a female.
No.
So who's playing Kim Kardashian?
We would love to see Darren.
Darren, are you up for playing Kim Kardashian?
Newly engaged, Darren.
Newly engaged.
That's right. You got to get in touch with the feminine side, buddy.
That's right.
All right.
All right,
my
there
God.
you go.
Okay.
Darren, is this okay with you?
It's fine. I think I know by now after 31 years how celebrities think, so I might do
There
a
you
decent
go.
job.
All right. Thank you. I think you certainly do, sir. Hello is and who am I being actually? George? Bella?
Albert?
Albert.
I'm sorry,
Albert.
Albert.
So thank you. So hello, is Miss Kardashian available?
Hi, this is her.
Hey, Miss Kardashian, this is Albert. We had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Is it still a good time for you?
Sure, of course.
So first of all, I'm so grateful. I know that you know who you are. I just want you to know that I know who you are and how precious your time is. Super grateful for this time. I don't want to pitch you, but I would love to know what even prompted you to accept this conversation in the first place. A little unorthodox, but your team said you're a yes. And so if I could just understand why even have the conversation, please, Miss Kardashian. I'm very grateful.
No, thank you for that in the intro. Anything where I can make an impact and use my notoriety, my fame, and my success in any parts of the world, I'm interested in hearing more about. And when your name came up with your mission, I said, this could be interesting. Let me hear more about it.
Wow. Well, and Miss Kardashian, thanks for that. I see all the things you continue to do, and a curiosity I have is what keeps you driving with all the things that come at you as a celebrity. I mean, it's so many fans, but of course, there's headaches. Why do you keep doing all that you do with all that you have? I've read your book, I've heard you speak, but I'd love to hear from your heart. What keeps you going on this mission?
I think getting back to what I just said, utilizing my platform to create change, to create impact and legacy. Because once you get to the point where you have the wealth, you have all the things, you've got the family, it's what gets you out of bed every morning. And for me, it's what I can do to take this gift that I have of worldwide fame, success, fortune, the relationships I have to really create change and impact.
Wow. Well, thank you, Ms. Kardashian. So from that place of your worldwide fame, having a platform for as much good as can possibly be created, may I share a couple quick things in our final minute or so that may or may not resonate with you?
Sure.
Okay. So, Ms. Kardashian, there's big problems in the world all over the place. But one of the things that we are very present to is that people ask celebrities for favors, or they pitch celebrity things where they have to write a check or invest some money. So I'm doing neither. What I want to do in these 3 minutes in our final minute or so we have right now is simply to tell you that we want to make something work for you, with the outcome being the greatest impact and proliferation of your mission, vision, purpose in the world to come forward. And what we've discovered is there's places in the Amazon that resonate very powerfully with folks that have a vantage point looking in. We could change the localized communities massively with a person of impact like yourself. But of course, that's true anywhere you go, Ms. Kardashian. What's unique about this, though, is the model and framework we've had in creating something called sustainable giving, where you're not only giving of your time and your energy, and we're happy to compensate you, and I'm not presuming you want compensation, but on the not-for-profit side or the for-profit side, we'd be thrilled to have either or both conversations with you where you are receiving massive value, and not just value in terms of money, but value in terms of increasing your influence and impact in the world. And now we're down to our final 15 seconds or so to be really precise. This is about taking something really interesting and cool in these folks in the Amazon, involving your identity for something like Michael Jordan and Nike coming together, but not only for profit, but also for philanthropy. And there's a for-profit component to this. There's a philanthropic component to this. And all we're simply proposing, Ms. Kardashian, is a follow-up conversation that will be 30 minutes long with you and your entire vetting team to understand a bit more of what we're speaking about. But here's our guarantee to you. We've raised enough capital. We know who you are charitably, that if we waste your time, $250,000 goes to your favorite charity, including your foundation. And if we didn't waste your time, then we continue the conversation and potentially do more together. So the worst thing that happens is a 30-minute conversation with us for $250,000 for your favorite charity. And the best thing that happens is I'm not crazy and we're doing things to impact and change the world for the better. P.S. That money goes into your agent's or your attorney's escrow account before the conversation. So we're not bribing you to have a conversation. We're trying to give you the downside risk because we know there's a ton to do with you, Ms. Kardashian, and your incredible heart and identity. So, Ms. Kardashian, how would it resonate with you or not to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation with your team to understand what we're speaking about with the Amazon, sustainable giving, and the fulfillment ultimately of your mission? Please, Ms. Kardashian.
I love it. I think I have nothing to lose. Like you said, there's so many wonderful charities I'm affiliated with. Worst case scenario, if I think it's not for me, as does my team. But what I'll do is I'll have my executive assistant reach out and absolutely set up a follow-up.
Well, thank you, Ms. Kardashian. And I will set that up with your assistant then, Joe, who set up this meeting. Come back to Darren in a second. Albert, thanks for being here today. Thanks for letting me be you. And I appreciate the quality of your feedback in that feedbacker seat. And Albert, how did I do as you? And how was your time today, Albert, on the Darren Prince and James Emo Amorosi Heart of Influence?
Well, thank you all for having us. It's a pleasure. Nice to meet all of you. Got a lot of good feedback, and it's nice to hear from all you folks and your perspectives. I thought the main thing that stood out to me was your tone. I appreciate the fact that it was real, it was calm. You weren't selling. And that to me is something that I recognize right away. You watch TV, you're sold. Every commercial, they're selling. Everything's a sell. People want the different thing. They want a connection. They want to understand you. Your tone invited that. So I appreciated the tone that you approached it with. And I thought it was well done.
No, thank you, Albert. And great job. And we've got a couple more fun things in the final few minutes. So we're coming back. Thank you for that. Let's go Twyla. Really impressed. I hear from a lot of coaches, and I was certified as a coach 22 years ago. And I will admit this, I don't like to admit this, but I hear a coaching presentation, I roll my eyes like, oh, poor coaches. You are not that. And it was extremely impressive. And out of all the people who've ever been on the show, 8,000 people have been here, thousands of lawyers, and dare I say, probably 1,000 coaches. That was the most impressive presentation by anybody who would identify as a coach we've seen ever on the show. I'll go with that. Great job, Twyla. How was your time with us here today?
This was wonderful. It gives me definitely a good perspective of asking more questions and standing back and letting them hear. So I appreciate the experience and listening to this. And thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, and your certainty screamed through, and we have actualized intelligence to share what it felt and thought. But I mean what I said, and every show is recorded, it's posted, so I don't just say that. I agree with the feedback, by the way, that there's a tweak here, tweak there, but your congruence, your certainty, the use of math and differentiation, I thought was extraordinary. So great job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go, Tim. Tim, much gratitude again. Wonderful job in the feedbacker seat. And please, Tim, how was your experience on the Darren Prince and James Amorosi Heart of Influence today, Tim?
It's a great show. It's a great concept. It really makes you be introspective as to how you engage with people and what your intended outcomes are. I appreciate the opportunity. And Darren, I wanted to let you know that I've got a individual who I've represented, who I've helped launch a community college with, a solicitor, Ron DiNicola from Muhammad Ali days, is an Erie native. He's an attorney here and was the founding chairman of the Erie County Community College. So I was happy to see your connection with Muhammad Ali.
Been my best. Ron and I go back over 30 years. He was actually at my first wedding.
Wow.
I'll let him know the good news.
Yep.
That is crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. So thank you, Tim, for that. Please, Bella Rita.
Let's go. And that was Tim you just did, right, Sean?
Yeah, we've spoken with Tim, Albert, and Twyla, because I think Bella Rita, Darren, Emma, we have a little twist on the ending of the show today with our friend Leah coming in. I think, Bella, you've been working with Leah a little bit, I presume?
I've been working with Leah, that's correct. Just got done. So let's go Mamie, who I was hoping could solve all of my family dynamics, but maybe in the future. But Mamie, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
It was great. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciated how everything went, especially the sage advice, the words of wisdom from everyone with reference to how to deal with, especially the listening part. Make sure you listen and not so much hard sell, because that's never good. I head up an organization, it's a New Jersey Women's Chamber, and our tagline is relationships, referrals, and then revenue, but it starts with the relationship. And so thank you all so much for your valuable input, and it's been a very rewarding experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Mamie. Great job. Bella.
Let's go to the man that can recite all the presidents. I can barely recite the presidents that have even been elected since I've been born. But George, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
Very enjoyable. Picked up a few things. I mean, certainly listening to everybody's background, very impressive. And very thoughtful suggestions, because I think a key point here is about understanding what people's needs and also building relationships. And the building of relationships really begin with that first phone call, because many of us are in businesses that require trust of the other side, right? We're not just selling like flowers or something like that you could return or get rid of, right? It's about selling value, and really it's about building trust, and you don't do that right away. So it's really being able to say and articulate the right things in order to get somebody to hopefully continue that conversation, and eventually a relationship and maybe a business transaction can happen. but that takes time and that takes trust. So thank you for everybody today.
Let's go. Thank you for that, George. Wonderful work. Bella.
Last but not least, this wasn't quite like biking around Tuscany, but maybe close. But John, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
Very interesting, and I enjoyed meeting everyone, and it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, great job, John. And before we get to Darren, Ammo, and final, I know we're running super tight. We want to introduce you all to Leia. Leia is our actualized intelligence agent who's got some feedback as well. Bella.
Yeah. And Sean, Twyla had to jump at the top of the hour, so should I just read Mamie's, or do you want me to read both?
Read both. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start with Mamie. So this is Leia's feedback from your Hello DS based on the unblinded formula. So what Leia has to say, Mamie, is you entered with grounded authority, a warm, bridge-building presence. Your voice conveyed both professionalism and heart. The attorney collaboration frame brought instant credibility. Your calm presence is exploring options, felt steady, non-threatening, and a real nod to goddess energy in motion. To fully alchemize the moment, consider dialing up the emotional validation. The sister's pain, Bella's overwhelm surfaced, but weren't deeply acknowledged. A pause to honor the chaos before pivoting into strategy could have been the violin note that unlocks the deeper resonance. Your score was 104 out of 130.
Very nice. Great job, Mamie. And for Twyla.
And for Twyla, you arrived with the executive gravity and clean clarity. Your track record rang like a victory bell, and the Impact League felt rooted, sincere, and legacy-driven. Your rapport building was fluid and high trust landed. I've been there too, emotional mirror, and opened real possibility. A few notes slipped past the rhythm of the core frame, which was rich with heroic identity, but the Truth to Pain piano stayed backstage a little bit too long. What was missing? A clear why moment to punctuate the urgency and create micro scarcity. The offer generosity was strong, but the contract and value anchored in pain could have given it a bit of a lift. And with that ripple, we pass the baton to the next brave soul in the arena. Score 108 over 130.
Beautiful job. Okay. From that place, Ammo, your final, that's Leia, Ammo. And we got some magic happening with the actualized intelligence agents and all kinds of things. Thanks for you being you. And James, Ammo, Amorosi, please, your final.
Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. I'm in a hotel. My computer crashed, but my phone, I switched over. Sean, we had a discussion, I think you and Michael, myself, maybe a month ago about the AI and how excited you were about that, the agents. So that's quite impressive how quickly AI can decipher things. It's almost alarming. We can do a whole show on that. I listened to Paul Tudor Jones last week on a show I went to, and he was talking about he went to a show with 40 high-tech people. Really dynamic this week. Very talented participants. Sean, once again, you bedazzle me with your mastery of your ability to convey hello to yes. And I understand why you, I think, 6 or 10x Tony Robbins' platinum sales in one day. It's so difficult to, I think George was saying that before about, going from, hello to a sale, right? Not easy. And I think when we do these events, these shows, I take it in on a very deep analytical level, watching everybody and gaining something. And I've gained a lot today. I think Mamie and Twyla did an incredible job conveying the essence of that level of mastery.
Well, brother, we thank you. So grateful for you, Ammo, and your mastery. And when we cause yes, we can cause a lot more. So thank you for that, brother. Of course, Darren Prince, all that you bring. So grateful for you and your final, Darren.
I just unmute for us, Darren.
It's always such a great group. I mean, today was no different, you know, with the work that Andrea does behind the scenes and you and Bella, and the role playing was great. Super informative, I think, on both sides. I love, you know, the complimentary side of it. Plus, you know, I want to use the criticism, but, you know, any sort of ways to change things. I think as a group, we can all go out and execute things a lot different after listening to, you know, this last hour. And I'm just honored to always be a part of this, you know, as is Ammo. And thank you for having us, and nothing but love for you, Sean, Bella, Andrea, and our new friends that we met today.
Yeah. Well, God bless, Darren. And I'm such deep congratulations to you. And please, brother, your new future bride's name?
Nutsa.
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 That is super cool. Nutsa.
Yep.
Nutsa. That's awesome. Well, Nutsa and Darren, congratulations. And for everybody, we have your feedback through AI. If you have a conversation with one of our team members, and that feedback will touch your heart, blow your mind. It is much more extensive than the quick snippets we showed for Twyla and Mamie. So if you're interested in that, definitely have a conversation with a team member. Either way, we have our group influence book. If it was out there, we wouldn't have written it. This will also become your textbook on how with heart and integrity you go from hello to yes. Bella, quickly, I know we're over, your final extraordinary job with everything you've built and accelerated with Leia, please.
I just want to say thank you all for being here. It was really an honor and a privilege to be here with each one of you. Definitely connect with each other, connect back up with Andrea, because she can guide us on how we could do more together. So thank you all for being here. And Sean, back to you.
Well, thank you. And we end every show by saying this. I may be physically blind, which I am, but I'm absolutely certain that the possibilities for acceleration that sit right in front of us, those possibilities sit there, but we could all use a little unblinding. Because with those possibilities sitting right there, Bella, at some level, unfortunately, we are all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Ammo, Darren, an honor. Bella, of course, an honor. Everybody an honor.
Love.